What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Weekly. I'm here with my co-host,
Nolan McDonald.
and I'm Braden Howdling. And today we're going to be talking about some sports, NBA, NFL, NHL, and our playoff game later against Wantagh.
Big game.
It is an away game at 5:30 at Wantagh High School. It's going to be a tough one.
Very difficult.
We are the 6th seed. We're playing the 3 seed Wantagh.
Playing them earlier did not look so great.
Our first matchup with them, we lost 41-0. They have that all Long Island running back in the backfield
Dylan Martini.
who is very impressive. Tell him some stats.
1,100 rushing yards throughout the year on 88 carries for 23 total touchdowns.
Which is absolutely insane, let alone that the national average is 4, and he has 23. 150 rushing yards per game.
Fourth best running back in New York.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be tough to stop. What's going to be the key tonight to winning the game?
Tackle him. Simple.
Tackling.
Wrap 'em up.
100%. I totally agree. Tackling is going to be one of the biggest things that we need tonight, especially with a shifty and quick running back. You know, once he gets loose, he's not coming back.
You're not taking him down.
He's not coming back. I think that we have the ability to win this game tonight.
I think if our interior linemen do their job and just push back on theirs, I think it shouldn't be as hard as we think it's going to be.
100%. And if our offensive line can just get going, get good pushes, I think that if we can move the ball, score a few times, I think that we're going to be able to win this game.
I think the key on offense is just throwing the ball.
Throw the ball, 100%. We have our quarterback, Connor Gurchins, who threw for 185 yards in the last game and 2 touchdowns. And the game before that, our homecoming game, he threw for about 150 yards and should have been 4, but it ended up being 2 touchdowns. Tonight's game, once again, is at Wantagh at 5:30. Let's move into some NBA news. A lot going on in the NBA right now. There's a lot of teams that are shockingly bad, a lot of teams that are shockingly good. The Knicks and Nets are currently in 4th and 5th place,
Respectively.
right around 500 in the win column, 3-3 and 4-4.
Cavaliers 9-0.
The Cleveland Cavaliers are 9-0 right now. A very impressive start for them.
Donovan Mitchell, potential MVP.
Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, a lot of good players there. You look at the Mavericks and you see Klay Thompson, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving. You expect them to be good, and currently they're at the bottom of the board in the Western Conference. So good start to the season for the Cavs, good start to the season for the Celtics, but a not so good start for the 76ers, who were championship hopefuls this year, starting off 1-6.
The Bucks as well, also 1-6.
Who were also title favorites at the start of the season.
Giannis,
Tell us what happened with Joel Embiid.
3-game suspension for pushing a reporter.
Yeah, and especially with him, who he's a player that gets injured very frequently. Getting suspensions for stupid reasons is not a very good thing.
He's the key to that 76ers team, and he's not been.
He can't play back-to-back nights, which is a struggle for the Sixers because they need him to win. And then they have Paul George, who's also getting older, who is struggling right now.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why they're losing is Joel
I think
Embiid.
they're a little too reliant on Tyrese Maxey,
Yup.
who cannot support a load of a full team every single night.
Don't get me wrong, Tyrese Maxey is a
Great
player, but he's just not at that level where he can carry a team like Giannis or Joel Embiid does. Some crazy action last night. Number 1 pick, Zachary Rasacher, scored 33 points on the Knicks, scoring 6 triples at 6'11". That is very impressive. Some other news, we have
Russ had 29 last night.
Russell Westbrook, 29 points. These old guys, man, I'm telling you, they can hoop. LeBron, how many LeBron dropped?
9 last night.
LeBron James, 39 points, having an MVP caliber season at 40 years old. Super impressive.
The Warriors looked very good last night
I mean,
against the Celtics.
The Warriors they have a lot of good young guys, and then they have their old vet Steph Curry, who can still shoot
do
the
it.
ball like
29, I
a
believe.
28-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, 29 points, 27 points.
27 points in Boston to defeat the Celtics. And then The
That's-
Mavericks defeated the Nets, and the Knicks lost to the Hawks. All right.
Greg Popovich.
Oh, Greg Popovich. Unfortunate news. He is out indefinitely with
Some
an
medical
illness.
concerns.
One of the greatest coaches ever, next to guys like Phil Jackson and
I say Steve Kerr is a top 3 coach of all time. In my opinion.
Steve Kerr. 2 Olympic gold medals,
Led the Warriors.
4 championships, and he won 3 with the Bulls, 2 with the Spurs. I think he won 1 with the Lakers. I'm not too sure, but
Got
a lot of championships to go around there.
He's getting older. I think at some point he might just have to call it quits.
Yeah, Popovich. I think there's no point in really going another year, especially with an illness. He's an old guy. He's won 5 championships. But moving on to the NHL news.
The Florida Panthers, looking like the team to beat, I think.
The reigning Stanley Cup champions are off to a really good start this season.
19 points through 13
19
games.
points, 9 wins in 13 games. That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. I think there's only one team that's currently better than them, and
I
it's
think
the Winnipeg Jets.
In
who are-
both the NHL and NBA, we're going to see back-to-back titles. I think the Celtics are going
I
to
think
get.
the Celtics are going to get hot at the end of the year.
They're gonna go
I think
back to
the
that for
Panthers
sure.
are just going to stay hot with
And-
that top line of Reinhart, Sam
Yeah, and,
Bennett.
and I think that the Panthers are definitely the best team in the NHL for sure.
agree.
Although the
The
Winnipeg
Winnipeg
Jets
Jets,
are 12-1.
12-1 to start the
Very
year.
impressive
Very
start.
impressive.
And the Jets have always been a team that
They've
are
always been
bottom of the board.
They've been a low-ranking team for the past few years, and then I think Connor Hellebuck came to that team and completely shifted the dynamic.
Yeah, he's
He's
an impressive
insane.
player. Some more impressive players for the Rangers, who are also off to a good I mean, an okay start. 8-2-1. They're not bad.
They're not bad. They're just in a very, very good metropolitan
They also
division.
they haven't played as many games as other teams so far, and they have a lot of great players.
Oh,
They got
Artemi Panarin,
Artemi Panarin,
Mika, Kreider.
Yep, Kreider.
They're a very
Their goalie,
talented team.
Elias Shesterkin. Some great
Yeah.
players on that team. Right now in first place in the Metros, the Hurricanes. Really no surprise there. They've always been.
They've always been.
My
good
team,
team.
the Red Wings, currently in 4th.
I believe so.
Good start to the year for them, especially with what we have. We don't have much.
Yeah, the Atlantic Division looking like one of the hardest divisions right there.
Yeah, maybe-
Panthers, Leafs, Lightning.
Bruins,
Bruins.
it's going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah. Moving on to the Pacific, the Golden Knights, as always.
19 points.
Leading that.
Possible Stanley Cup matchup. Panthers, Knights. I would love to see that.
See it.
100%.
The Sharks, after coming off a terrible year, look.
They got the
terrible
number 1
again.
pick. Who's
Macklin
a
Celebrini.
great player. Macklin Celebrini came out of Boston College. He's
He's a great player.
he's
just
been
not-
playing really well.
Yeah.
Better start to what Connor Bedard had last year
Yeah.
with the Blackhawks, who are again struggling. The Blackhawks,
Got to
just-
feel for Bedard. I mean,
oof, not
just
looking good
don't-
over there in Chicago,
no
especially for
dynamic.
Connor Bedard.
there's no dynamic in
It's
that team.
just, it's literally just him. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Um,
Some NFL
NFL.
news. NFL news.
the Jets against the Texans.
They
that
ho-
was
They
that was
hosted
a
the Texans at
spectacular-
MetLife Stadium.
Great
Took
game.
the game 21-13.
Garrett Wilson catch of the year, I believe.
Possible catch of the year. One-hand catch. Just got his shin in
Yeah.
before his knee touched out of bounds.
Insane.
And then the Commanders also visited the Giants on Sunday. They defeated the Giants 27-22. The Colts played the Vikings on the road
That was
on Sunday
21
night.
to 13.
Another
The Vikings
tight
win.
game. Another unexpected tight game. You know, you see teams like the Texans who are dropping to teams like the Jets. It's that time of the year when teams start to click. Bad teams get good teams get bad. It's exciting. And the NFL is an exciting sport, and I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
The Bills hosting the Dolphins in a very big divisional rivalry in the AFC East.
Tua Tagovailoa returns from his concussion. Not a bad start.
It's a bad start. I just don't think that
I think
he should. I think he should sit the rest of the year.
that would definitely be a good idea for him. But
he's just not.
the
if he
fact
takes
that
one
that
more-
game was that close,
Yeah, I mean, 30.
especially with that Bills team that I honestly don't think is too great.
No.
They are good.
They're
Don't get me
They're
wrong.
well coached.
They're definitely well coached, but there's not too much talent
No.
on the team right now.
I mean,
just besides Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's off
I mean,
to
Josh Allen's just.
one interception in 9 games.
Yeah.
Super
I
impressive.
think Josh Allen's going to be this year's MVP.
Then my team, the Lions, headed to Lambeau Field in the rain, in the cold weather. They said we couldn't, but we did. 24-14. The Lions took the dub.
I mean, the Lions look great.
Best team in the NFL, in my opinion, currently. We have a lot of good players. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL. We
Jared
have
Goff being Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, MVP type season right
I
now.
agree.
And our backfield,
Insane.
Montgomery and Gibbs,
Yeah.
can't stop it. Tell us some of the top fantasy players of the week.
We got Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and Kyron Williams. A little bit of a shocker in Kyron Williams. He hasn't been too hot to start the year. I mean, that Rams O-line is not where it should be, but I think he has potential to be one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Kyron Williams has scored a touchdown in 9 straight games,
And
a
that's
record
insane.
that a lot of people can't do. I think the record is 16 games set by LaDainian Tomlinson back in 2007. But Derrick Henry, man,
He looks unstoppable. right now.
possible historic season. It is a possibility he may break the single season rushing record
I mean, that Ravens
in his
O-line
first year as a
is-
Raven at 31 years old.
That Ravens team is just
You know, you think about the NFL, you think about players retiring early, and
Derrick Henry.
especially
never-
as a running back,
I don't think Derrick Henry ever comes to mind. He just looks unstoppable every
he
time he touches
might
the
be
football.
the LeBron James of running backs. You know, he might not be the greatest ever,
He's just an all-time.
but his longevity is insane.
yeah, he just keeps going.
1,000-yard season like 9 times in
something
his
like
10-year
that.
career. Honestly, probably one of the best running backs to ever live. And then Saquon Barkley, man.
That Eagles team just looks.
That hurdle, the backwards hurdle, you see that?
Whoa, wow. Where are you pulling that from?
Double spin move, and then
just
he
jumps like
peeks back, sees the guy,
and
double
just jumps.
jumps, double hurdle behind the back.
What are we doing? That Eagles team looks just
Crazy.
insane. Like
I think the Eagles and the Lions are going to be in the NFC Championship, is my prediction. And
shout
then
out Coach Duggan.
Chiefs, Bills for the AFC. Shout out Coach Duggan. Some of the rising stars of the week in the NFL. Who do we
I'd
got?
say Brees Hall for me is one.
100%.
The Jets and Brees Hall are just looking like they're a team to reckon with right now. Coming off that win against the Texans, Brees Hall just looked unstoppable. Like every time he got tackled, he was gaining 4 or 5 yards. Like
Yards after contact, one of the most important statistics in football. You know, if you got a player who can get a lot of yards after making contact with another player, you got to keep him.
yeah, I
And
mean especially with Braylon Allen in that backfield as well.
he was a very good receiving back.
6'3", 215.
Yeah,
You
great.
put him at fullback as well, and
Yeah, he can do everything.
yeah.
That Jets offense is kind of looking like
It
that
looks
Detroit
scary.
offense
Yeah.
with 2 good receivers, 2 great running backs.
A very good potential quarterback. And
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting a little old. We might
He's-
need
he's
the
a
Jets
leader.
might need to think about drafting a new quarterback soon.
He's a leader, though. And that's I
He
think
is a
what the Jets
leader.
need.
I just think that, once you get to age 40,
I think
you should.
there's-
The Jets should maybe consider finding
Yeah.
a new QB, possibly trading for
yeah.
Bryce Young.
Mm.
I think that would be a very good idea, maybe possibly.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels has been
Another
very,
rising
very good
star,
to start the year.
rookie, probably going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year
I
award.
would agree.
And-
He's doing things that most rookie quarterbacks cannot do, especially in I would say, undermanned team like the Commanders. Definitely not the best strength team in the NFL, but Jaden Daniels just makes them look like
Yeah.
a very, very good team.
He's super dynamic. He has an absolute gun of an
He
arm.
throws the ball 90 yards and just make
And
stuff
his
happen.
legs are even better.
Oh my God,
He
he's so fast.
He's super fast. Most rushes in the league with 15 plus miles per hour recorded, which is absolutely
Insane
insane.
for a
And he
quarterback.
leads it by like 15 carries or something
Yeah.
like that.
Another
He's going to
person.
be the next Lamar Jackson for
100%.
sure. He plays like him. He looks like him when he's playing. And I'm excited to watch him play in
I
the
think
future.
Jaden Daniels will be better than Lamar Jackson.
That
He's a better arm than Lamar, and I think that's what sets him apart.
I feel like Lamar is just he's so used to playing now that it's just like
He's just built for that Ravens
he's
system.
he's just built for it. You know, his ability to run,
Take off.
and he also has a gun. He has a better arm than Daniels, in my opinion. And right now, in my opinion, Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the NFL for sure.
I think it's Josh Allen.
I
Josh Allen, he's on under-weaponed Bills team.
So is Lamar, if you think about it. Yes, they have Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry isn't catching too many passes out of the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, you still got Zay Flowers. I mean, the Bills' top receiver is a rookie in Keon Coleman.
You also have Amari Cooper, who was just acquired by trade.
That is true.
But Lamar, yes, he has Zay Flowers. He has Mark Andrews, but
Mark Andrews is more of a lineman this year.
I don't think Lamar has as many weapons as it looks.
No.
They have a great defense, don't get me wrong. That defense is absolutely insane,
Yeah.
which definitely helps.
They just keep getting him the ball on offense.
Yeah,
Just
fitting
getting
Lamar and Derek.
turnovers.
I mean, that team really looks unstoppable
They
right
look
now.
very, very
Possible
good.
definitely a Super Bowl contender, along with the Chiefs and the Bills in that conference.
Speaking on receivers, Garrett Wilson looks
He's looking like
so good.
a new superstar. Like,
I think the Jets adding Devontae Adams in that offense and taking 2 eyes off Garrett Wilson changed him completely.
yeah, 100%.
663 yards over 9 games.
70 receptions, which leads the league or something like
Yeah.
that. That's.
I mean, he just catches everything.
he's gonna end the season with 1,000 yards, 10
Yeah.
touchdowns, and 100 receptions,
Yeah.
which a lot of receivers
Yeah.
are not able to do in this league.
Yeah, I mean,
And especially with Devontae Adams on, the other side.
Yeah, and
It's
they
pretty
still
impressive.
have Malachi Corley.
He's
He's just another option there. in
another
that
option.
offense.
They also have Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
And they just traded away Mike Williams to who did they trade him to?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, he's
for
on the
5th
Steelers
round.
now. Those Steelers, man,
They look
they
good.
surprisingly look really good.
I
you
think
know?
it's that defense that is really, really helping them.
A lot of bad teams in the NFL this year. You probably would expect the Steelers to be in that mix, but they're at the top of the
They're
league
there.
right now.
They're there.
And they're a
That
solid
defense is just good.
They have-
TJ Watt is just
team. TJ Watt is a different man,
Yeah.
for sure. You think JJ or TJ in their primes?
in their primes. JJ Watt. That's simple. JJ Watt was one of the best players ever in his prime.
JJ Watt, top 3 defensive player ever, but
Yeah.
if TJ
Keep
can
doing what he's
play
doing.
into his 30s and do as well as he's doing right now, I'm gonna have
There's
to
an
put
argument.
him. I'm gonna have to put him at the top.
Yeah.
Not over Lawrence Taylor, of course,
Oh, no.
but definitely in that top 3, most likely top 2 range.
You know what's another pick I have there? Luke Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly, linebacker.
Knew everything.
He was a freak of the game.
He knew everything.
Watched a lot of film.
He knew
Watching
everything.
film is one of the most important things
Answers
you
to
can do
the
as
test.
a football player. Literally the answers to the test.
I mean, Luke Kuechly just knew every single play that was coming at him.
He would just see the ball and he would go to the ball right away, and there was really nobody that
He wasn't
could stop
afraid.
him.
He wasn't afraid to hit anyone.
You know, he was. You know, off the field, he was a nerdy.
Builds Legos.
Weird kind of guy.
Yeah.
But
On the field,
when he would get-
complete maniac.
flips the switch
Yeah.
and just completely changes.
Yeah.
One of the saddest things to see in all of sports was his injury.
Yeah. Speaking on injuries, Dak Prescott torn hamstring
Yep. Dak Prescott
Gotta feel for
probably out for
this season.
majority of the rest of the season.
I mean, torn hamstring's tough to come back from.
If they do make playoffs, even if
I
they
would-
do,
I wouldn't put him back in.
I mean, I'm not going to count out the Cowboys. They're a good team. They have a lot of good weapons and players.
They're poorly owned with Jerry Jones.
I don't know what's going on over
Fourth
there with
rounder
Jerry Jones.
for Jonathan Mingo?
I'm not too sure. What else do we have here
Chris
today?
Olave.
Chris Olave out for the season. A.J. Brown, another injury. He's on my fantasy team.
Player of the week.
Player,
Saquon Barkley,
our
in my
final thing, player of the week.
Saquon Barkley.
I agree, 100%.
He just looks
150
insane.
yards on the ground. Scored a touchdown.
He just does stuff that no one else
Made a
is
couple
doing.
insane plays. It was super impressive to watch, and I'm excited to see what he can do next
yeah.
week.
Some teams on bye week: Cleveland Browns, Green Bay Packers, Seattle Seahawks, and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Thank you, and that's all we got for today on Sports Weekly. Thank you for watching and enjoy.